Good evening, everybody.
Hello, hello.
How y'all doing tonight?
Hello.
Y'all don't seem chipper. What's wrong? What's wrong? Y'all don't seem live. What's up with y'all?
In a hard day.
A hard day.
Lord.
Oh, Lord have mercy. She had a hard day.
It's the hump day.
It's the hump day. Yeah, it is a hump day. It's
the hump day.
No pun intended, huh?
Yeah, it's a hump day. It's a live. And people calling me knowing I'm live. And ain't nothing I can do about answering no phone. I'm on the phone. I mean, I'm on live. Calling me for some reason. I don't know who. Yeah. So, how's it going in Texas, Sandra?
It was lots of crime, but the weather is beautiful.
Oh, okay. The weather's beautiful.
Y'all got a storm front coming that way, I see. Like hail and all that. I hope your car is under that garage.
Yeah, my car stays in the garage.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a hailstorm coming your way. It's the golf balls.
Oh.
That's not good.
Well, just stay inside. Robert, how you doing, Robert?
Oh man, all is well. Just got the yard, doing a little bit of yard work. So that was pretty fun.
A
little
yard work.
Man, I get out there and listen and save you a few bucks.
Okay. Awesome. I'm glad you're doing a little work. Save yourself some money. You can take us to lunch now.
I
still owe you lunch for your birthday.
I'm freezing up.
I still owe you lunch for your birthday, so I we'll get together.
Now you heard that, Teray. You heard that, right?
Yes.
Teray's not invited because he gonna eat conch all the time.
Oh, the Keisha conch or the Teray conch?
It's the Julius conch now.
They
gave me a table and my own conch name, so it's the Julius conch.
Really?
You ain't know?
I'll go see them tomorrow. Jay had called me, so now I understand why that fight occurred. Okay.
Anyway, we're gonna get to our first subject, and our first subject tonight is TikTok. The U.S. government is banning TikTok and demanding that it sell it to a United States company, and that company is controlled by one of Trump ex-people who wants to buy it. Mnuchin, I think, owns the company that is trying to buy it. TikTok. What say y'all?
Personally, I think that all social media needs a check, because it's almost like it's one thing for freedom of speech, but another thing for freedom of, I don't know, it's distraction. It's almost like, hey, let's distract you from your regular. It's like big time distraction. It's like I've got caught into it, and I'm like, man, I'm glad they didn't have this when I was a kid. Because if I was a kid and had this and had to sit here and had to be on time or on a schedule or whatever, oh my goodness, it wouldn't work. The Facebook videos itself that keeps loading on and on and on. It might not even be the subject that you hunted for, but it's going to take you into a whole nother realm and all this other stuff. So yeah, it's not for the weak.
Well, I mean, I think everyone, well, not everyone, let me back up. I think everything, too much of anything is not great. So I agree with you there, Sean. I do think, and I texted this earlier to the group, that the United States has an arrogance about itself that I think we need to check at the door. I think the audacity of telling another country that you got to sell your product is quite aggressive. But, with anything, you got to have a balance, right? So you can't sit there and watch TikTok all day or all night and not sleep or not do your work. At the same time, you can't sit here and drink 40 bottles of liquor and think everything will be okay. So I just think that, this, as I saw a CNN commentator earlier, so if we do this, then China has the right to say, you know what, we're not going to sell any Apple products. So you gotta be careful before you bite your nose off and spite your face.
Exactly. I mean, it's just like the United States they're bullies, and they would not want, anybody telling Twitter, I mean, in certain countries, a lot of social media is banned. They tell us we can't even get Pornhub. We can't look at porn over in Texas.
Your business now.
I'm just letting y'all know.
I ain't coming to Texas.
Yeah, they have blocked porn in Texas.
That's not
what?
Right.
Yes.
I'm mad already.
Yeah. So I mean, and it's like, you guys want to, you guys tell people what they can and cannot do, but just like somebody said, if they were to tell you guys, tell us, well, you gotta sell the Ford company before we'll buy Fords. You know, I mean, I get what they're saying about, getting out information and everything, but there has to be a better way.
Well, I mean, hey, it is what it is. They think that I mean, I enjoy TikTok. You get all these little different things on TikTok with the dances and the songs and the funny videos, and I look at TikTok about 30 minutes every day, and so I enjoy it, but I do understand if there is a national security risk. What say you, Jamal?
Well, I concur with Rob and also Chandra that, again, we're pushing a narrative for ourselves because it is tied to arrogance. And so, again, when you say, Julius, that they indicate when they're going to say national security issue, so then that's why they think that they can be a bully. And so it is going to be interesting as to what the worldview will be with regards to all this right here. What will happen? What will transpire? When you're going to say that a possible owner is somebody who has affiliations with Donald Trump. Look at what we're looking at with regards to Elon Musk, with regards to Twitter. Twitter now known as X. And so again, to allow them to have these type of forums, that becomes a national security issue also. It becomes a domestic issue, and that we're going to see the rise of hate being spurred on by people like that.
Yeah. And what I don't like about a lot of these social media outlets is the misinformation that is just shared. You can just put anything out there, and it doesn't have to be checked for validity, and just like our ex-president, he will retweet, tweet, whatever, anything, I mean, blatant lies, blatant conspiracy, he'll just, put it out there, and people that's not astute, they take that as the gospel. So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword.
Okay. Well, I don't know what the real answers will be. Giovanna, I don't see that last one, the one that was erased. It's not up there anymore. So you say all of them are up there, but the one that was in question is not there. But the last video, I don't see it at all. But okay, there it is. We are going through some uncertain times all across this country, all across this world, all across the whole globe. And so that the United States government will use propaganda to try to scare people. And we're not going to always get the true story. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this plays out. I don't think that you ought to be able to. I think that it does need some regulation, because if they can get us and and I was just telling Javon about the video, we had to go and bleep some stuff out of the video. Now, the last video that we'll play tonight is very vulgar, but it's very educational. It's right on point, and the brother is just expressing himself. But we had to bleep one of the words out at the end of it because the platforms don't allow these words. Now, certain platforms do, but the main one that we use on Facebook does not. And they will ban you for 7 days, 30 days, 6 months, in a lifetime. We had to delete one of our channels because of somebody hacked our page and put up some propaganda that we did not put up. So they should have, if they got all this technology, they should have saw when I explained to them that the page was hacked, and that somebody put up some extreme violent stuff that we had nothing to do with. They should have seen that and been able to help us with that, but they didn't. But anyway, that's just one of the thoughts. I'm gonna play this video that is out of line. We didn't have it on there. I'm gonna play it before we get into our main topics. It's let me see if I can move it. Okay, here it is. But I'm gonna play this video before we go to I'll tell you what, let's go to a commercial, come back, and then we can have 15 minutes of pure talk. Jamani, you want to take us to a commercial?
Hello, I'm Richard Coleman, and I'm running for the office of Sheriff of Chatham County. And when I'm elected, I promise to inspect what I expect. Chatham County, it's time for a change, and that change is me, Richard Coleman.
Borders open though, because the United States is in a real tough pickle right now. In my generation, we worked hard. I worked for Verizon. But my kids, your generation, y'all not going to do sanitation or pick up garbage. Y'all not going to be postal workers. Y'all not going to be electricians. You're not going to be plumbers. You're not going to do construction. Y'all starting podcasts. Y'all thinking about other ways of making money. What does that mean if these jobs are not being filled? They create programs for the migrants where they're giving them rent. They're giving them money. In Chicago, they have a program where they give them $9,000 every 6 months. So that's $18,000 a year for rent. That's an average of about $1,500 to $1,300 a month. That's good rent for somebody, right? So now they living in all these places. Your generation, your kids, y'all are not buying houses, bro. So you know what that is? Y'all not getting mortgages. United States needs people to get mortgages. Y'all are not going to college no more. Y'all not creating college debt. United States needs college debt. Y'all are entrepreneurs. Y'all are not joining the military. The military is depleted. That's why they're having things like proxy wars, where they got the drones dropping bombs because they don't have enough military. Y'all are not doing the things that I did, my grandparents did when they came here. So they bringing in millions of new people who are going to do these things. Why is the borders open?
Come on. Y'all. He's overgeneralizing. Two, he didn't do all that stuff. So stop patting yourself on the back for that mess. And three, I think he's a little bit off key. There are more young people who are looking at trades, which honestly, that's where your money is, like plumbers or carpenters, etc. But how can you say we don't have enough people going to college but you talking about getting in trades. I mean, so he's contradicting himself all throughout that narrative.
I don't agree with you, Robert.
I don't agree with you either, Robert.
Go ahead, Sean.
Like literally, like we're looking from you're an educator, so you're around a bunch of kids in college.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm out here in these streets and
Not
I'm watching.
Come on, Sean.
I'm out here in these streets. I'm out here in these streets.
In the streets.
I'm looking at my nephews. I'm looking at my cousins. I'm looking at my nephews. And just like the man said, everybody wants the get rich quick. Why I got the sweat mentality. And I guess it's too much Cosby Show that we probably watched. And probably, it's probably too much Cosby Show. I don't know. And yeah, you're supposed to reach for the stars, but at the same time, it's like
I want my star now.
I don't want to. It's almost like we started wearing these crowns. We started wearing these crowns, and the only thing we wanted to be kings of was the streets. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want to own our own land. We didn't, you know what I'm saying? Even when we got the money, we wasn't trying to buy land and property and stuff. Name I can't say it like that, but if we was on social media, I'd say, name a big time dope dealer that bought a bunch of property.
But hold on. But you know what? I'm not going to blame the U.S. government, but the U.S. government created that problem. They dropped that into our communities, and at the same time, our community was disproportionately barred and presented barriers to the same access as white folk. So I look
to land. Land?
Yes.
Oh God, yes. Lending.
Man,
I mean, go back.
We got this problem with nepotism and that I see as black folks. We need only time we reach out is when we got another family member to cling on to. We don't stretch out on our own, like to say, man, there's property out there that you can, like acres on acres on acres for $15,000 you buying doggone like, and we don't. I feel like we don't like to stretch out on our own. We need a nickel.
As generationally, that hasn't been taught. That hasn't been something we have had access to. Look at our ancestors. A lot of our ancestors have been the help.
Well, can somebody put that comment back up? I mean, we didn't even have time to read it. Why the South can't get none of that money, put the trades back in the schools? They do need, well, the trades are still in the schools. They're not in the schools the way they used to be in every school, but there are trades that are in high school. In fact, Julius old school is a trade school.
The best school in the country.
Yeah, Tompkins High is a trade school. It teach you culinary arts, teach you how to paint cars,
be a fireman, be an airplane pilot, all of that.
Yeah. You go to pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is that I feel, this is just my observation, is that from the parents to the social workers in the school to the teachers, nobody is these children to go into the trade.
Right.
And nobody's telling them that, hey, when you come out of high school, you can come out of high school making $60,000 a year.
6 figures, easily 6 figures.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. With no debt.
Yep.
But you know, we're gonna hop back on me and Sean. We see it the way the guy said it. They're bringing all those people over here for a reason. They're letting the borders be flooded for a reason. Robert, you obviously didn't listen to that video real good.
See how he coming from y'all.
Did you listen to that video?
He contradicted himself.
How?
You can't say too many of our kids going to college, but not enough going for trades. Like, which one you want?
I mean, colleges, you could go to college and you go to technical college and get the trade, same thing. But what I'm saying is that he's saying that these young kids are just so messed up now. They're not wanting those jobs. They're not going to they're not even wanting to be a post office worker. They don't want to do nothing. I know I got a bunch of them out here now that I deal with don't want to work, don't want to do anything. All they want to do is smoke.
Hey.
And put the hoodie on.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm just playing.
And most of them are smoking with their parents.
Well,
I don't know where y'all live, but
you know,
I mean, it's crazy. But I can say this, you know, that there has not been one administration. There's not been one administration that has fixed that border issue. The border has been open since the border was open.
And it needs to be closed.
Okay.
To everybody.
Well,
shut down, zip, shut, lock tight.
I hate to say it, Chandra, but the only I hate to say it because it's gonna sound like an endorsement, but it's not. But the only person that even said something, the only president that mentioned something about the border was
what? Don't say
was Donald Trump. When Clinton, I mean,
come on, Sean, Biden got a bill on the table right now. Are you crazy?
But that's because Donald Trump administration was the one that put focus on the border in the first place. The border been a problem, but it's almost like, okay, so many of them coming in, blah blah blah. But nobody did anything about it.
Well,
that's probably how he even got in the first place.
That's not true because Obama tried to fix the immigration problem.
Well,
you know, but I didn't like the way he was going to do it. You know, I don't like. I did not agree. I did not agree with amnesty. You know, being a solution. You know, you don't get to sneak into somebody's house and then since you were successful at sneaking in the house, you know, we just gonna let you stay.
Yeah, allowed it. That's not right.
Native Americans allowed it.
It's not right.
Who allowed it?
The Native Americans.
Well,
they didn't have border patrol, Robert.
There you go.
But listen.
But most of them were killed away.
I'm just saying.
So and I mean, so I mean that's that part. But you know, if we keep allowing and see, you're right in a way, Doc, because if we keep allowing foreign people to keep coming in here and we don't know who's in here, they can retaliate and kill us.
Okay, if you're exactly right. They just put out a warning yesterday about coordinated attacks on the homeland. So be careful where you go at. So you have to be careful because I agree. These borders, we are too lax. We let everybody come and do whatever the hell they want to do. And it is our safety, our children's safety, our families' safety that is of concern. They need to shut the border down. I don't know what the Democrats thinking about. I don't know what the hell they think about, but that could cost them. Now, we got a young person that said, because we done got off track with what that message was. We got a young person that works with, we got several young people that work with us. And one of them is producing tonight. And she said, so we're messed up because we don't want to do those type of jobs. No, the man never said that y'all messed up because y'all don't want to do those type of jobs. He just said that you're not doing any damn jobs these days.
Oh, Lord.
That's what he's really saying. If you ain't trying to be a postal worker, if you ain't trying to be a welder, a plumber, a construction worker, you ain't trying to do nothing. And it's not you. You went to college. You graduated. You can't speak for all of y'all. But look around you, Miss Producer. Look around you and look at these kids. You can see it. If you don't see it, when you come back to Savannah, I could take you around a bunch of them and show you they ain't working. Well, all these places that used to have somebody working as staff at Burger King and Burger Kings are closing down all over the country because they ain't got no work.
Well, there are two things that I see going on, and I will say this. Like when my dad was my dad's age generation, and he was in his 90s, you know, that type of generation, you know, those men knew how to do everything from going to do blue collar work to building their house to fixing their own electrical stuff. So we're built differently now. I will say there is a good handful of our young black folk that, you know, but that don't want to do those jobs. Now, I will say this. I ain't gonna go at no Burger King if I'm raising a family because they're not gonna give me a livable wage. And so this thing has a two-sided coin. I want a livable wage. Now, say for example, you got a 21-year-old who got kids and a wife or whatever. $13, I ain't gonna cut it. I'm just sorry. Now, I will say they can go start, you know, be a carpenter or something like that. But again, it's incumbent upon their community and their village to help them understand that, right? So, Mr.
Sean, before you go, Sean, let me ask Robert.
That's me, Sean. Back me up, Sean.
Sean, let me ask you a question, Robert.
No, here we go.
You said that you want a livable wage.
That's a livable wage. How do you fuck going and pay rent?
Okay, how the hell they pay the rent with no job?
Baby, some of them, let me shush. They sell stuff. I'll tell you what I'm saying. They sell stuff.
So our producer said, so our generation led the wrong way, but it's a generational thing. Parents aren't teaching their children who become parents, not teaching their children. Yeah. Go ahead, Sean.
Okay. There's several jobs out there that we used to have that okay. For one, if I count, I give you $10 for every 21-year-old you find that a backyard mechanic nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Understand? At 21.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You ain't gonna find, back in our days, we knew how to fix our cars because we had to fix them. We had to fix our own cars because going to the, you understand?
Yeah.
Nowadays, they don't know how to fix their own doggone cars. They don't know how to change their oil, no nothing. They'll ruin a car at 21. And that's what I'm saying. It's like it's like the sense of, it's like they lost something, man. I was just telling my boy today, I said, man, we need to go back and sue the rappers and producers that came out. We need to go out and do a big class action lawsuit against them because they got our kids popping pills, getting high, and wanting to sit on the doggone couch and stuff like that.
I think that's
I don't understand.
I think that's a stretch. I will say this. Now, the one thing that my daddy did instill in me, and a lot of these, I'm not shifting blame or whatever, but I agree with you. They can't even change a tire now, which blows my mind. But again, I come from a privileged background because I had a daddy who taught me that stuff. We just don't have that. I mean, I have friends, y'all. You heard me say earlier I was doing yard work. I have friends that will hire people to come do their yard, to cut their grass. And I will too if I had the resources. But it's stuff like that. We have luxuries now. But again, I think priority is a thing too. Priority. So you do have young people who are just misprioritize everything and think they're supposed to have the cake before they do the work. You can't do that. But I agree with you. There's skills that have been lost. Like if you're on the side of the road, you can't change your tire. You bad off, man.
You walking. Then the bad thing about it, you walking off, calling your mama and telling your mama, man, mama, what I'm supposed to do? The tire blew. I can't drive it no more. And you walking off.
Exactly.
Crying.
Exactly.
Crying.
Mama, the car ran out of water because you didn't look at the panel in front of you to see that the car was running hot. You didn't look at that check engine light to say, I mean, these kids are not even thinking. They don't care.
Thank you. And walk off.
I got a
that's
goddaughter.
Not a bill.
I got a goddaughter that I done told. She knows that Wednesday is my busiest day. She knows Wednesday my busiest day. She's still calling me, asking me to take her to the store. How the hell I'm gonna take you to the store? You know, you work here.
Hello?
You know I'm busy. And you asking me to take you to the store. They don't care.
Critical thinking.
It's only about them.
Critical thinking is off. I will say that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, and you know what comes from? That's what the problem is. TikTok.
Hey, come on, man. Ain't no dang on TikTok. Ain't no dog.
I had two of them in the car the other day. I'm serious. And we're going to go on to the next subject in a minute, to a commercial in a minute. But I had two of them in the car coming to help me because we had changed the office around. And they came to help me do some stuff. On the way here, they head down the whole time. If I asked them where they was, they couldn't tell me.
Boom.
They do not look up to see where they're at. If I was in a wreck, they couldn't call the police and tell them nowhere where I was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They're not in tune with the world.
Slam on brakes next time.
If they want to ban something, ban all social media.
No, it ain't, man. Don't say that out loud no more.
No, I tell you what's better? Make them pay for
it. Man, don't say that part. Because then you're going to have parents' paychecks stolen, kids that went and snuck their parents' credit card numbers and stuff. Or the parents use it as a pacifier. Here, stick the social media in your mouth.
Now, I agree with this lady. She said, I have kids, this guy, Jamel.
Not my boy.
I have kids, but we can't raise our children because the government wants to raise them. The government only wants to raise black kids.
Exactly.
Well, they want to control them.
They don't want to raise all kids, just black kids. See, they don't want you to beat their butt like Sandra want to do Chris.
She beat them.
They don't want you to do that because they'll come lock Sandra up.
Boxing.
When our parents put that thing on us.
Baby, what?
And
they don't want
the teachers put it on us too, Sean. You remember the teachers had that you could get corporal punishment, that paddle that they could hit you with?
Exactly. But they'll take a black parent, they'll take a black child for their parents whipping their behind, but the principal and the teacher could whip your behind.
Yeah.
How strange was that? Yeah. With a stick.
They beat them when you get home.
Yeah. Well, we're going to move on with the show. This is a great discussion that we can have next time with a full panel. 4 of our people are missing tonight. Only way Charlie is deep in prayer, and he's closing out right now, I guess. He said the last prayer. Giovanna, take us to a commercial. We'll come right back with our lineup. Transformative. That's what Sonya Jackson is. Creative. That's what Sonya Jackson is. Compassionate. That's what Sonya Jackson is. Leadership. That's what Sonya Jackson demonstrates. Dedicated. That's what Sonya Jackson is. Chatham County, there's never been a tax commissioner like Sonya Jackson. She has made the office more accessible, more consistent, more convenient, and more service-friendly. Let's keep Sonya Jackson while she takes the tax commissioner's office to new heights. On May 21st, cast your vote for a great public servant. Vote Sonya Jackson for tax commissioner. All right, we're back, and we're going to get into this. Is today's show is kind of deep. I've been running across a whole lot of these videos across it. That's why I love all these TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, because you run across so much stuff, and it needs to be discussed. And all we do on this show is give our opinion, as professional as they may be, and we bring it to you so you can give your opinion. You can do an assessment for yourself. We got Javon, you can play the first video, the most important faith to have. I think that was Reverend Ike. I don't know who that guy is. Sandra, you know.
Your faith is no good until you learn to have faith in yourself. How in the world can you believe in somebody in the sky and you don't even believe in the somebody in you? How in the world can you believe in a Jesus that walked in Galilee and not believe in the God that walks in you? I don't care how much faith you may have in a God in the sky, till you learn to have faith in the God in you, your faith is dead. It's no good to you. God in the sky is no good to you. Only God in you is of any value to you. The most important thing in the world is what you believe about yourself. Your entire experience is fabricated out of what you believe about yourself. It is not important what other people believe about you. It's only important what you believe about yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to have faith in yourself. You got to understand that it's you who are the captain of your ship. You control your destiny. Prayer is supposed to be the help. God is supposed to be the help. He gave you free will to do what you do every day. But you have to understand that you have to have faith in yourself. What say y'all?
Well, that's true. And also, you know, we were made in God's image, you know, and also, you know, we are children of God. You know, God gave us dominion, you know, over all things, you know, and he also said that, you know, if we have the faith of a mustard seed, you know, we can speak to any situation. We can speak to a mountain and, you know, cast it and it would move. So any mountain, you know, and figurative mountain, you know, we should be able to speak to that thing and trust. You know, faith is the substance of things not seen, you know, but knowing that it's going to happen, you know. So I mean, it's like knowing that when I sit down on this chair is going to hold me, You know, I have faith that that's going to happen. You know, so yeah.
Okay.
I can agree with you with that, Sugar, and I'll add this. You know, yeah, individual, we are composed of emotional, physical, and mental components that are who we are, right? And so all of those have got to be in alignment. And so what I would add, what you're saying is, even in a creator or God or what have you. And I also believe that there are ancestral spirits that guide us, that work with God, and those are our angels, right? So one of the things I want to add to what you said was is making sure that we also acknowledge that there are ancestral spirits that help us and guide us, that are guardrails, right? That help inform our every move. Those are the people that have gone before you, your elders that have transitioned. So in addition to what you shared about faith in God, I think a part of that also is understanding that, you know, while you have choices every day, you also have prayer, you also have obedience, you have all of that, and you also have guardrails that'll help you. Now, should you choose to just veer off the road and be intentional about veering off that road, that's a whole different story. But you know, this whole thing of you know, faith and spirituality and the unknown, it's a powerful thing, and it can be overwhelming. But yeah, it's a complex issue.
Mr. Sean. Sean. You can hear Sean?
You might have to go back in and come out.
He ain't froze.
Yeah. He froze. No, he's not frozen.
Sean.
He had to log out, come back in.
Go out and come back in.
Oh.
Jamal, you had anything?
You muted.
You muted.
You go with that phone.
Go ahead.
What were y'all discussing?
It's gonna grow.
You said you have to have faith.
That corn is gonna grow.
That's right. That's right. But you gotta do the things with regard to the faith. Faith without works.
There you go.
Ain't nothing.
Got to pull the water on it. Got to put the dirt over. You just can't put the seed in the ground. You got to put the dirt over. That's the works. Then you got to go out and water.
That's right.
And then the hard part is, then you got to keep the buzzards from eating all the crows.
That's right. The weeds and the insects, the pests. Yeah, because they'll come around and they'll co-opt it. But guess what? You know what also happens with seeds too? Is that sometimes the seed return back to the earth. Sometimes what happened, the seeds won't even grow. They'll just begin to change. And they just become just like the earth. Nothing happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, that's
not transformed.
See what kind of lead in that was with you being at the farm out there, and we just put all that together. That just proves the point. It lines right up with the video. What's up, Sean?
Well, I honestly think that's what that I had a saying from the Bible, that Hebrews 11 and 1, which was faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And that's what led my life through for a whole long, like it's still to this day, like I walk by faith, not by what other people tell me and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like I believe, so therefore I achieve, you know. So, you know, it's the God in me. You know, you know, still saying my praise, and I talk to him and thank him for everything he put in front of me and all that other stuff. But you know, I know it's me reaching out on my process that allows me to gain.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad y'all had your word on that. Jamal, you could cue up our next video. 15 religions.
There are 15 major religions in the world before Christianity that have taught the same thing. It is a very ancient, old story. That's why the Bible's called the greatest story ever told. Astrotheology is the basis for all religion in the world, period. Theology is the worship of a religion, and astro, the worship of the heavens. From as far back in history as we can go, man has always worshipped the heavens. That's why we're even told in Western civilization that when you die, you'll go to heaven. The whole concept of the sun, S-O-N, God's Son, goes directly back to the old concept of God's Son, S-U-N, being the risen Savior, because the Son is the risen Savior. It does rise. And of course, God's Son, S-U-N, the Egyptians said had an evil brother. He was the Prince of Darkness, and he came out at night to rule the world. When God's Son died and went away, the world was in the hands of the Prince of Darkness, and his name was Set, and he came out at sunset. The Egyptians said that newborn son that came up every morning, his name was Horus. I am not saying there's not good spirituality in the Bible. I am saying that it has been twisted and used by political powers for a political agenda to keep us ignorant, ill-informed, and unread, depending on the Lord to come back to help us, when in fact there is no Lord coming back to help us. Education, knowledge, and your own personal spirituality and investigation of what the story is really about. Do your homework. That's the only salvation we have left.
If you're seeking the real truth, if you want to understand what you are and where we are.
Okay. Jamal, you look like you ready to go for that one.
Because he's a son. S-O-N.
He's in the sun. Jamal, can you hear us?
I can hear you now, but I can't hear that video.
Oh, you didn't hear the video? Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
You won't be able to talk on it then.
So first F you get in academics.
Sean, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I know it's just like you said, the greatest story ever told. Now it's the information age. There's not an excuse for not knowing these days. It's like you can do your research, you can do your, it's a lot of stuff that literally, think about it. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if you saw somebody just talking out.
Uh-oh, the son got him. She don't talk about God.
Somebody calling you must be on the phone.
Yeah, he on the phone. He talking about God like that. That's what happened.
Okay.
You got to go out and come back in. All that. We don't do sign language. You understand?
You got to get on the computer, man.
Bless his heart.
When somebody call you when you're on the phone, it's gonna knock your sound out. So you got to be on the computer so you won't have these type of interruptions. Good thing we ain't in Hollywood yet. Y'all have to sit in the studio and sit still. Robert couldn't be going and blanking out every 5 seconds and everything. And Sandra, your thoughts
on what?
Yeah, the video.
You know what? You're giving my Angelo tonight.
See, I know y'all are waiting on me to talk about it. See, because everybody, especially Black people, we're set in our ways so much that we don't want any new information. We're set in the beliefs that we've been taught all our life, so we don't want to know nothing else. And like the man said, education. You're not going to get anything that you're looking for unless you go looking for it. It ain't gonna fall in your lap, and you ain't gonna learn nothing new until you go research and do it yourself. And that's just part of that. There was 15 religions before Christianity even came up. Somebody said it was gonna be 2,000 years, and then the earth was gonna blow up.
But you know what? I'm gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? Well,
yeah, say it.
I think that doing too much is too much. It is dangerous. Okay, because we have people like the Jim Jones of this world. Robert you might be too young to remember him, that, people that will take a segment, that will say, well, I did my research and, this is the one true religion and I am the Messiah. And then they will lead a group of people, and that's why we have all of these cults, popping up. We have a lot in Utah, Texas, there's a lot of places, that guy named Andy, I forgot what his last name was, that was raping all of these little girls and everything. And they moved from Utah, moved here to Texas. And well, now he's doing life in prison, but they had a whole, it was a whole bunch of them.
So what you saying?
So what I'm saying is that, yes, we must study to show ourselves approved. That's that comes from the Bible, and I'm not saying that, the Bible, I believe in the Holy Bible. So other people might look at the Quran and all of this, but I just, all of these religions popping up every 2 minutes, and then all of these apostles and before you can even be a real preacher or a deacon or whatever, you already a bishop.
But Tanya, and I understand what you're trying to say, but these religions were here before Christianity, and then Christianity popped them. See, you don't think that God in some way is bringing people? Some religions are started by man because they feel like they had some vision or something, but and we're not talking about these small groups of cults with 100 people in it and they all drink the juice and die. We're talking about Christianity is a big cult, but it's all about money right now. So I believe in God. I know that there has to be a God. There ain't no way that there can't be a God. So there has to be a God. We wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't be able to do the things that we're doing right now. So there's a God. But sometimes you just got to open your mind and say, wow, when did this happen? How did this happen? When did they give me this? Why am I so institutionalized with this thought? And that's just part of it. Jamal, you look like you was trying to say something.
Well, I was going to say this right here. When I was at the Delta program, and before we got inside, someone asked the question to me. They was like, why does Julius not like ministers? Why does Julius not like the church? That's what the people said to me. And I'm standing right out, and I'm like saying, no, it's not that he don't like them. I said that they need to be held accountable. They're not held accountable. So that's why I just want to let you know. That's what some of the people. So I want the people in the audience to understand when Julius says something, he is not anti. It's just that he believes in accountability. So I just want, because they might be looking right now and say, so they probably looking at all these topics. They're like, see, I told you all, but see, no, Julius wants people to be held accountable. When they say they want, because I got to say this right here, that when it comes down to it, to spirituality, and I tell folks this, you can say that you are religious and all of that, but then some people are religious, but they're not spiritual. When you are spiritual, you have a framework
And I told some people just this weekend, I said, I don't have to worry about some of y'all because I know you have a framework that you're not going to backbite, you're not going to destroy me, you're not going to cause me harm. But other people go and play it, and we see it. And I had someone yesterday when I was up in St. Helens that discussed about in his own family, about his mother. His mother caught the Holy Ghost, but her cousins, they were playing. They talked about how they were playing, and they looked at her and something like something was wrong with her because she actually caught. They were like, we were just playing, but you were serious. And that's why I say people are walking that walk who are truly inclined, tied to the Spirit, tied to God. But there's so many others out there who are manipulating, and that we have to be careful of that. We got to keep our antennas up all the time. Just because they got that title position, don't fall for it.
That's right.
I can think of a particular bishop, but before y'all move on, Mr. Brown, let me apologize. They don't understand it. When you walk in this room, they be quiet and all rise. All rise, Mr. Brown.
You're too kind. Thank you so much. As always, hello, boys. And I can see, such beauty. And it's good to see you. You look wonderful.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Because I want to let you know, since we're talking about pastors and churches, I did pray for you. So
thank you.
And I feel like I can get a prayer through. And Julius have a problem, so he do call me, and I intercede for Julius.
Oh my Lord, that's a lot.
And I appreciate that because I trust you.
That's an all night long prayer.
All night.
All right. See, this is the thing.
But listen, Jamal, I trust Charlie praying for me than some of those pastors. Tell him that.
Thank you, Julius.
What about Sam? You don't want
to? Charlie's gonna be sincere.
Right.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Charlie's gonna be sincere.
God gonna tell Charlie go to bed.
Yeah, the preacher gonna tell you I'm gonna pray for you, and then he ain't doing nothing. He going.
No, Julius and I run together a lot, and Julius was with me last night, and I shared some stuff with him. Didn't I, Julius?
Yes,
we
sir.
shared some stuff.
Yeah. I had a great time at Charlie's church, right there in the building he's in now. Him and Ms. Brown, they gave me a whole lesson on
about spots. Yeah.
You know, and it was a great lesson, and it's something that I probably want to go through one day.
Yeah, and I thank you, Julius. I mean, some of the pastors, like he say, they try to fleece people, and it's not about fleecing the people. It's about trying to inform them, and we all serve one God.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal, where are you?
I'm at Promised Land Farm.
Oh, because I can see your biceps and everything. They need a tiny bit. Oh, it's you. I forgot. Your biceps don't need anything.
What about that video
look fantastic. Right. Sometimes I'm missing getting carried away a little bit. What happened to him?
You went off yourself. You got beside yourself.
Jamal, I just want to say sometimes I just forget and get carried away. Then all of a sudden I think of the history, and then I realize I shouldn't be talking. So you look wonderful. Happy to see you tonight. Happy to see all y'all tonight. Y'all are good people. And Jamal, you are a very, very nice guy, and I appreciate all the work you do for this community. Robert, good to see you too, buddy.
All right. Okay.
All righty.
Okay, our next video, we're going to talk about this.
Killing me.
Is envy.
Brothers and sisters, you got to watch your heart when you start envying somebody. Don't ever let the ugly poison of envy enter your heart, because envy is the most irredeemable quality in a human being. It's worse than anger, because when somebody's angry, you can look at it. They're angry. When somebody's loving, you can see it. When somebody's generous, you can see it. But when somebody is envious, the envying person takes on all kinds of faces. The envying person can smile at you while they are planning your death. They can be fixing your food and acting like a loyal servant. They can be a disciple, praising your name, and at the same time hoping you would drop dead so that they can take your place. I'm telling you, envy is dangerous. A person who is envious is one who hates God, not the person that they envy. They hate God. Why? Because it is Allah, God, who is the bestower of all gifts. And if you have a gift and I envy you for your gift, then it ain't you that I'm hot with. I'm angry with God. Hey, why you give him that gift? This is the way the envier thinks. He always or she always feels they're more qualified for it. I would be a better person, God. Why didn't you see me? Why didn't you look at me? Why didn't you choose me?
That's right.
Man, that's
right.
Man.
Spot on.
Yes, it is, too.
Spot on.
Envy is powerful.
It is. It is.
Wow.
The worst thing ever.
Yeah.
The worst quality in a human being, because you're not worrying about getting it yourself. You're worrying about why they got it.
Right. It blows my mind with people.
And that's a whole lot of people. And some people they make accusations as to what we do here on this platform. We don't envy anybody. We just try to bring the truth. We try to bring what we see as a difference in opinion and a difference in a way of life. And we try to bring it so people can see it. And that's what we do here every day. We don't hate on nobody. We don't care. If you're doing what's something that's a detriment to our community, we speak on it. We do that here.
And we believe the truth will set you free. And that's what we try to stick to the truth. The information we give you is about the truth. And they probably not like it, but again, we can't do this show without the audience. You are the reason we are here, because there was a need for it. And I'm saying, I want you to share, call a friend, let them know we're on Roku TV. Share. But the truth will set you free. And that's what we try to do.
You are a great PR person. I just want to let you know that.
Robert, you too, Ken. Thank you so much.
Anybody else got any short things on envy? Y'all don't go for it.
I don't understand, and that's I'm gonna go back. We talk about this often about the whole Black community, when are we going to work together? That's one of the major issues we have in our community is envious, right? We have people use crab in a barrel as a term, but that's such a dangerous thing to have. The one thing that I love celebrating people who get a blessing, because what we got to realize is your blessing ain't gonna come the same time as the next person. But if you don't celebrate that person, you live in envy, your blessing ain't gonna never come because you're blocking it. So we got to learn to celebrate each other and wait till our turn comes. It's almost like he was taught in kindergarten. Wait till your turn comes. But that's just something that people got to work on. If you can live in envy, then I pity you.
Next. Where Uncle Sean went at? He went out and ain't came back.
The dog, yeah.
The dog ate.
Wow. I have two things, and one, there are people who go and say, this is one directed to Julius Hall. There are people who say that our Black media is envious or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just asking because at least I'm saying listening to Julius. That's why I was just like curious if somebody was saying that our Black media is envious, and that's why I was curious about what do they say our Black media is envious about? With who? Towards who? Or
Well,
they didn't specify.
Well, I'll give something in no. Well, I can't give anything in any degree of certain specificity, but that's a new word I learned.
Now
I've been knowing that word for about 40 years now. I got that from Sage Brown. That was one of his favorite words. Who was the person that said that about me earlier today?
Well, it
So
wasn't
we
that
don't want to give
you
sources.
weren't you weren't they weren't envious. You know, they wasn't something. They weren't being envious.
But they
They were
saying
just saying,
something.
right. So
We don't
that's why
know
I was
what
just
their
curious. No, I
thoughts
was
were.
just
We
curious
don't know
that.
what their heart was.
Right. Well, no, this person is a supporter of black media. She's a support. She's a supporter. Yeah, she believes in. That's why she values us. That's what I'm saying. No, she's not. She's not a critic. This is a supporter. This
okay.
is she's yes. So, but that's why I'm just curious about. See, and there's a reason why I'm asking the question with regards to if somebody has said our black media is envious. That's why I wanted you. If you say, well, no, that's a perception that you may have had, then I'm like, okay, then I'll leave it alone. But if you say, hey, somebody said this, then that's when I go and then address it and say, these are the things that happen with regards to us. And so, well, that's why I'll leave that alone. I'll move on to the second thing. The second thing is that
before
now
you
we
move
talk
on
about,
to the second thing, let's close this one out because we have to make it known that there's nothing for our black media to be envious of because there is nothing like what we're doing. Nobody is doing what we're doing. And we have no competition. We're our own competition. We try to get better every day ourselves at what we do here. We give out information on a broad basis to our community. Nobody is doing this. Nobody. So we don't have any competition and we're not envious of anybody. Go ahead.
Right. We don't get it. We don't get into competition. It's not about competition. Right.
No.
It's about information. So, right.
Sure.
So, but now I'll go into the second part. The second thing is this right here. Now, because it's easy to look at African Americans and talk about us with regards to the envy and other things like that. But I'm like, no, I got to throw this out. And I just say, this is where I come from. That, you know, what about Caucasians? Caucasians are envious of African people and have been envious of African people. Look at what goes on. Look at the food that you call American cuisine. It is largely African cuisine. Look at when you talk about music with regards to that. And even when it even comes down to spirituality, when it comes down to religion, they're going to know and they're going to say, especially on the legal side, they say some of the best closing arguers with regard to legal cases, with regard to attorneys, they say Black Baptists and Black Methodists. They look at that. They see that. They say, because you are able to connect. So when we look at a lot of this right here, we look at development, we look at what we have achieved in this country. Who has been more envious than Caucasians? That's not
Jamal,
that. Let me go to
why you know that's my last subject, right? It's a whole video on that, right?
No, I ain't had know that. Okay.
Well, that's why I'm letting you go in. Keep going.
No, I just stopped.
What you did, you jumped the
but
you jumped the curve.
But no, I know what it is. God had guided me there.
Didn't it jump you?
God brought me there. God. It's so
Then I agree.
I want the audience to understand that Caucasians have been more envious than Black folks have ever. So when we look at that, and that's why when you look at them saying, making sure that you don't know information about the history, when you look at what happened down in Florida and talking about the dismantling of DEIs, you better understand that is absolutely tied to envy. We come and look at us, but we don't take it to the fuller level. So I just want to throw that. So I ain't gonna say no more because I ain't looked at no videos. I ain't had no nothing. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
You jumped the curve.
Make sure you there for the last video because it's and I got to warn is parental advisory on it. And because the brother, boy, he goes off, but he uses a whole lot of vulgar words, and he said something that Giovanna, I hope she got it where she beat it out, or we'll get in trouble. But that video is last. So we're going to get on to our next subject. If everybody doesn't say something about this envious, being envious.
He never called himself a god. He never told people to pray to him. He's one of the very few that did not masquerade as a god, although he could have. When he left the different regions of the earth, the people there who were left behind eventually deified him, because that's what people do. We do dumb stuff. We start saying this guy was God. No, he wasn't. As a matter of fact, there's a verse here where people start groveling at his feet. And he says, whoa, wait a minute. Calm down. I'm a son of Atlantis. I'm here to help you. He didn't say, yes, grovel at my feet. I am your Lord God. You pray to me. You blah, 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 blah. He didn't do that. Now, some of these people, his relatives, his uncle did that. His uncle made people pray to him. His cousin made people pray to him. His brother, Amun-Ra, made people say Amen after every prayer. And they were at odds. Him and his brother were at odds with each other. They always fought. They had battles. And Thought Me, also known as Enki, said, Thoth, you go to the other side of the planet, man. Start something over there. And Thoth took some African Olmecs with him to Mesoamerica and kickstarted the whole Teotihuacan civilization. What does Teotihuacan mean? Translate to the city of Thoth.
So that now y'all know where y'all got amen from. Y'all know where y'all got sunset. See, this is education. We'll give you education because, see, you say things and you read these books and you think that you're getting it, but you don't even know where it's coming from. Amen. Where did amen come from? They're telling you. You got to do your research. You can't just turn your head like Sandra is doing right now to things that's that is there. It is things there that you just have to look at. You have to. You never wondered where these things came from? Sunset. The sun, and then sunset, and the sun it comes every morning. It's a lot of stuff in history. It's a lot of stuff that you need explaining, but you can't have a closed mind.
No, but you got to read. If you're going to read the Bible, you got to read scripture for yourself. You can't rely on just the preacher or the evangelist or whoever trying to show you the Bible. And that's why you should read it for yourself. And I say it over and over to understand what you read. Because a lot of time, a person starts speaking on the Bible and different subjects, you have no idea what they're talking about because you hadn't done no reading it on your own. I've seen that too many times. And it'd be foreign language to you until you start reading it. And then when a person talk about it, you can understand where he or she coming from.
Anybody else?
I think we're good on that.
I have something to say, and I'm so glad Julius Hall said this right here. So Julius Hall, when you had said what you said, just like you say sunset and all of that, so I'm going to give you a word that is a spiritual word that people don't realize it, and that's the word day clean. And so day clean, just like when he was talking about Tahuti and all of that, day clean comes from a Wolof word, beset, which means the day is clean. That means each day starts anew. Each day is a new bright day. It's a philosophy of life. Yesterday may have been the worst day of your life, but guess what? Day clean. Each day starts anew, and it is spiritual. That's why people say my tour company name, Day Clean Journey. They try to figure out what that's about. On Day Clean, the African soul, people try to figure, and other people start saying, yo, that brother, this is all spiritual. And guess what? It goes right back to horizon. And that when people talk what they call the Sphinx, it is Heru on the horizon. Aket. Aket is the origin of the word day clean. And so that's why when you did it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And that's why I tell people, guess what? You don't have to go and pontificate the word of God. You manifest the word of God. You live the word of God, and it becomes a part of who you are. That's why I say religious people don't have a clue. Spiritual people have an understanding.
Okay.
I like that word. Pronounce that word again for me. Prolificate.
Prolificate.
Pontificate.
Hold on, let me shut up and move.
Pontificate.
Thank you for sharing with our viewing audience. See, this show you pick up information and you learn.
That's talking about something and like you in authority and don't have a goddamn clue.
Oh Lord.
That's what that means.
Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Cue our next video. Now, hold on, 1 second. One second.
Y'all not giving Sandra an opportunity to talk tonight. What's going on, Sandra? You okay?
She's kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Okay, you feel
this
you
next
feel
video is for you,
good.
Charlie. Charlie,
Huh?
I need you to pay attention. This next video is for you.
Uh-oh.
All right. So please look at all the video because I need you got a pen in your hand. Write this stuff down so you can go and ask Blondie about this here tomorrow. Okay. Play that video for Book of Enoch.
The only Bible that has a copy of the Book of Enoch inside of it is the Ethiopian Bible, which predates the King James Bible by a very, very long time. When the Council of Nicaea got together to decide what books they were going to put in and what books they were going to keep out, they were like, yeah, Enoch, and we can't tell them about the spacemen coming down with the weapons. Just can't do that. We just can't let them know about the spacemen with the advanced weapons. That's something we'll tell them in the Bible that he was whisked away into heaven and never came back because he was so holy. He was just whisked off into heaven. And you got Christians running around telling that story. When in actuality, when you read the Book of Enoch, you discover he had an appointed time to get with these aliens and get into their ship and was taken up into space to look back at the earth from on top of the clouds. And he describes what the earth looks like from space. And then they took him to go meet the master. And the master taught him knowledge of construction techniques, blueprints, architecture, mathematics, all of this stuff, spirituality, and then brought him back at a later date. It was an appointed time to leave to go learn, like he was going to go to university. And then they brought him back years later. It was so much planned that he even had a conversation with his sons on how to handle the family estate while he was gone. But if you ask a Christian about this, they're going to tell you, no, he was so holy that God just took him, and he's the only person that ever just got snatched up from the earth and never had to go through death. No, that's not accurate. Sorry, it's not accurate. It's just not accurate. We have the receipts, as they say.
True story.
That man was trying to start a line.
Very, very true story. It offends a bunch of Christians because y'all believe so many things that are just myths.
They don't hardly discuss it.
Oh, I'm talking.
Oh, shit. Oh, stop.
Just hold on. You get your turn in 1 minute. You could say all you want.
No. I was just saying they don't hardly discuss it. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, but and it's a myth. It didn't happen like that. But see, we are conditioned and institutionalized, and we are taught all these fables. We're taught all these stories that we just want to believe. And and the reason I was telling you this book was for you is find out why that book is more than 66 books of the Bible. It was 2 or 3 left out. And that was one of the ones that explained about the spaceships. That's why they left it out. That was one of the ones that explained about all these tall black men that came here. Tall, real tall. They were like giants. All this was in the Bible now. So if you're going to read it, if you're going to believe anything in the Bible, this was the Bible. But see, King James left books out of the Bible because the religion is a part of control. They have to control you. You know what I'm saying? So, my thing is what I tell everybody, just believe that there is a God. You can do it any way you want to do it. That's up to you. I know that there's a God, so don't think that I'm just hard on preachers for no reason. I'm hard on preachers because they are not accountable. But anyway, thoughts?
I thought you quit talking at me and talk to me.
No.
Okay?
You stop interrupting me.
No, I didn't really interrupt. I was just stating the fact that I was making a little quick statement saying it's not in the Bible. They took it out of the Bible. They don't discuss it. No, the average person have never discussed, know nothing about it. I wasn't going to go into a dissertation about it. I thought we were I didn't know it was your turn. It went off, You went to just running your mouth.
I do it every time because I'm the show host. I'm here on time. I do it when it's supposed to do. I organize it.
You're making your point. You don't make your
That's
point.
That's why I went first.
Stop talking at me.
I lead. Hold on. You got to get the understanding. I lead so everybody else can understand where they go at from here. That's what I do.
I'm not denying that.
Okay, so what are you talking about? I just running my mouth. That's what I do.
I was just making a reference right quick about
you can reference when somebody else is talking, Charlie. Please.
I didn't know you were going to talk that quick about the subject. It just went off, and you went right into it.
That's what I do at every subject, every single subject. That's what I do. Every single subject.
Quit. You made your point, all right? You made your
I don't do that.
I say you made your point.
All right, go ahead.
Okay? Then I have no comment. Only thing I want to say, it's not nowhere to be found. And that's all I was going to say. You made your point, brother. Trust me, you have. You nail it.
Stop interrupting me. We'll be all right.
Stop interrupting me. I'm still talking. And you had no right to interrupt me.
Boy, I'll come through this thing on you.
You wouldn't do
You ain't like you used to be. You ain't like you used to be.
I will whip you like you stole some onions. Make you cry.
Okay.
Sandra, you want to say something about the book of Enoch? Huh?
I don't know why we're having all these religious.
We're having it because it's part of what we do here. And what's wrong with y'all? What y'all want? Y'all want things. What y'all want? What do you want? Did you come up with a schedule? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You don't know why. It's because this is what we do. Okay. This is you ask that question a lot. This is what we do here. Okay.
It's her turn to talk.
She said she won't nothing. I'm trying to tell you, this is what we do. Y'all don't go getting all sideways when people bring y'all something that y'all ain't never seen.
No, I've heard it before. I've heard it before, sir. I mean, I'm not that person that's never heard that there's books missing out of the Bible.
I like to speak for a minute.
No,
somebody say, why am I acting up on live? Somebody just text me.
Listen.
Mr. Brown. Go ahead, Mr. Brown. Go ahead.
Listen.
There's 1,724 people watching. Go ahead, Mr. Brown.
You know, King James, the person he give the authority, the person he said do it, they was afraid, because anybody know the history, they need to do the history of King James. And you can see he beheaded people. And you think when they was doing the Bible or whatever, they put it the way he wants stuff.
King James
and that's the King James version.
You heard me, Mr. Brown? King James is a lot more head. Leave it at that. But y'all don't want to talk about that either. But we're gonna
but that's a fact. I talk about it.
About what?
He missed the whole thing. I'm gonna leave that.
About what?
Because he don't listen. He don't listen to other people. He be too busy trying to tell people how to do things. He is out of line. He's always been out of line.
I was listening to one of the constituents that just had.
That's not right. Then how can you know what to talk about? Don't do what you do to us and then come back and do that crap. We were saying King James was a murderer's king.
Where you at in spot?
A lot of things.
Where you at in spot class? Because that's anger.
That's not anger. No, that's not anger.
That's anger.
I captured the thought.
Yeah, it's anger. I gotta come back and go through spot.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Mr. Brown, you need anger management.
Try to put me on notice.
Yeah, you think, hold on 1 second.
But quit. Julius, don't go get that book.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Man.
Listen, this is a great book. I'm serious, man. I love this book. Y'all listen, man. And it ain't by me. I'm not related to C.E. Hall. C.E. Hall is a great guy. I love this guy.
You are too. You are too when you sleep.
But listen, this you see, Mr. Brown don't understand. I'll throw this stuff on him because he has a few issues that he's dealing with. And I need to help him.
You tell him. You tell him. You got quite a few yourself. But
right. When y'all see me and Mr. Brown fighting, it's love. Y'all don't think that it's nothing.
Oh no, we get along. People don't know. We run together all the time.
Yeah.
Listen, but King James was tough. So, Robert, once you interject, because I noticed you got that.
I ain't said a thing. Why you gotta attack me? You pull the whole book up again.
I'm not trying to attack you, Robert. I just want you to share what we say, Doc.
Yeah. Well, the book of Enoch, y'all need to watch it. Read it. Get it. It's available. All you got to do is it tells us a story that they don't want told.
That's correct.
And so that tells you, and it was a part of the Bible. So don't go throwing the Bible to me. And what was that the other night we was talking about, Charlie, about being taught what was Ms. Brown saying it so eloquently the other night about people being what does Gene do with the Bible? He don't talk the history of it.
Right, he don't do the history of it. He do how it got to that point. He do in other words, tonight we were saying he don't do the icing. He actually do how the cake is made. The icing make you feel good because it's sweet, but you got to know how the cake is made.
Unless you diabetic.
And what King James did, King James took out everything that he didn't want in, and that's what you got.
I think King James might have been the icing, but we're gonna.
But I suggest, Julius, what King James, what people should do is research King James, and you'll see what kind of king he was.
Correct. He was
king of all men.
King James did it all.
Yes, he did too.
But let me go back to Chandra's point. Chandra asked a very poignant question about religion. And I think one of the things I was going to say earlier, and we're witnessing it right now across our nation, is a religious war. When you have Palestinians and Israeli folks are at one another, that's a religious war. You know, one of the things I had a chance to do is go to Sarajevo, and I don't know if y'all remember the Sarajevo when the Bosnians and the Sarajevo folks got. But when those religious wars get started, they are that's an intense, just things we don't understand because we are mostly a Christian country, but it's a very important thing. One of the things that my daddy was very religious, I'm more spiritual. And I would always tell my dad, and one day we sat on, we talked about it. I said, let me tell you something. You do know that the Bible is a book of interpretations. It's a storybook. The only thing God really asks us to do are those 10 commandments. And so it always amazes me how people will utilize scripture as a weapon, but they're Christian, but they will utilize scripture as a weapon, but forget those 10 commandments. So for example, the whole idea of women not supposed to be preachers. God ain't never talked about that. Jesus ain't never talked about no foolishness like that. Or, you're not supposed to have abortion. Jesus ain't talking about nothing about that. So what we got to do is what you said, Mr. Brown, interpret it for ourselves, right? And make meaning of it, because you go to some countries with that foolishness, you can get killed over that stuff.
There's no question. Yeah. Cut your hand off. Cut your head off. A lot. It's a whole lot. We got two things left, and before we go. That's our last thing, is our segment called Before We Go. So y'all get y'all before we go, get that ready also. What you say, Mr. Brown?
I just want to piggyback on Robert Shaw. Robert, that was well said, and it need to be said, because for the fact we have a religious war going on right now on college campus. It's going on right now. Yeah. And I'm saying it's religious. You got to read it and understand it for yourself, and you can't just read one version. You have to read the history of it too to understand where you're coming from.
Well, and if I may add this, so I want to say this about Speaker Johnson, because he's a complete idiot. Our House of Representatives Speaker. One of the things that I was furious with him today, he got up there, number one, and called for a president to resign. He's a complete idiot. And then number two, you don't, when you do things like what he did, he endorsed basically the Israelis. You now have created, you put salt on a wound. And for those of us who deal with these type of students who are already marginalized in fear, and now they're dealing with this and going against campus police, it's a very serious situation.
Yes, it is, Robert.
And my thing to the viewing audience is, you know, and because Chandra said she didn't think she said something pointed, but it's important because you have people who are deeply rooted in ideologies around their religion, not their race, their religion.
And I gotta compliment Julius for putting this on the platform because it's happening now, and some of this need to be addressed now because it's happening all around us. So I'm happy he had the mindset and the vision to put it on and to talk about it. Because we are a platform, we try to give them the truth. We try to give them what we know, what we understand.
Yes, sir. Okay, we're going to go to a real quick Dubai underwater. I want y'all to see this video again. We covered it, but let's see it one more time.
Dubai is facing a serious problem. It's underwater, and guess what? It's because they tried to make it rain, but now it won't stop. They did this thing called cloud seeding, which is basically messing with clouds to make more rain in dry places. But now the whole city is flooded with huge storms, soaking malls and homes. Airplanes can't even fly anymore, and some people say it feels like the end of the world. With the rain pouring down non-stop, Dubai's busy streets look more like rivers, causing big disruptions to daily life. This city, famous for its fancy lifestyle and super tall buildings, is now dealing with the unexpected results of trying to change the weather. But in the middle of all this chaos, there are stories of people sticking together, helping each other out as they wade through the floodwaters. When nature fights back, even the richest folks might find themselves in trouble. Did Dubai's wealth lead to messing with nature just for fun? Will Dubai manage to survive this crazy storm and come out stronger? Or will the rain keep causing chaos in this desert city? We'll have to wait and see.
Go ahead, Julie. Jesus.
Shut up. Yeah, Dubai underwater. Are they playing God? They wanted to make it rain. Why? I don't know. Why would you want it to rain when all those people coming over there spending all their money? But they don't need any money. The people that own the little island. But what say y'all?
All I want to say is I didn't know that was happening. Has it cleared up any, or it's still going on now with water everywhere? That's the first time I was aware of that. But you messing with Mother Nature and trying to do something you shouldn't be doing. But I guess they needed rain because Dubai is built on a desert, and it's gonna get less rain. And I just can't figure out, is it still like that, or that's an old video you showing, or that's fairly new? I mean, because I hadn't heard about it on national news. Anybody else other than Julius, Sandra, you heard about it, Robin, on national news? I did.
My boss lives in Dubai, and he's not said anything about it.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I have a friend that lives over there as well. I mean, all of us push the envelope on Mother Nature, even when we build these big old skyscrapers and all that. So it is what it is.
And the fire department can't. And what happened? They build these buildings, and the fire department can't fight them. The buildings are too tall for the fire department.
Correct. That's absolutely correct. And if it weren't true, Facebook would have took it down. TikTok would have took it down. They take down everything that they find false, almost, except for Donald Trump hair.
Yeah.
But
Trump.
Dude, I'm serious. I didn't hear about this.
Yeah.
To just now, I'm serious.
I mean, a storm over there in Dubai ain't newsworthy to us. I'm never going to Dubai. I don't ever want to go to Dubai.
Listen, I got to get over there.
In my life, I don't ever want to go. Okay, we're gonna play our last video, which is very vulgar. So y'all just hold on. So, Giovanna, if you didn't get the bleep in there, then we're gonna need to make sure that we get it on the end, okay? Before it gets to that. So you can go ahead and play it. Our last video before we get to our stuff.
You just don't like black people. Plain and motherfucking simple. You do not like black people. It is very obvious. For hundreds of years, we've been the most hated. The most hated. But within that hatred comes the hypocrisy of loving our culture. You've made trillions off of our motherfucking culture. You know that. You've made money off our culture. Let's be real. 100%. You've made money off our culture. White musicians, all of them have made money off of black fucking culture. All of rock, all of jazz, motherfuckers, all the shit we created from the oppression, which is fucked up in itself. The oppression and the fucking abuse and the rape and the putting down of us, we create blues, jazz, rock and roll, reggae, ska. We invent all of that shit. And to top it off, we invent all the modern shit that you all use. From the video game cartridge, Henry Lawson, huh? We got the pacemaker, Otis Boykin. We have the late Dr. Bath, who created the laser eye surgery. We have Dr. Gladys, who's still alive, who's almost 80 years old, who created GPS. We have the guy who created the algorithm for Instagram, who's a 21-year-old Ghanaian kid. We've done all this shit. Then the internet was discovered by a Nigerian guy in the 80s. Like, we've done all of this innovation, even though we've been shit on and continue to be shit on every motherfucking day, right? Because nobody wants us to live anywhere. Nobody wants us to have this unless we're playing sports for them. Like I said, unless we're academically, right? No, I'm sorry, athletically or sexually satisfying motherfuckers. That's all black people are good for. We're supposed to be at people's beck and fucking call when they want us to entertain them or make them some kind of money. But if we ask for being autonomously wealthy on our own, being autonomously having our own shit, all of a sudden everybody pitches a bitch. Everybody has a fucking hissy fit. People get mad when we want to. You don't want us in your neighborhood. You don't want us in your schools. You don't want us doing anything. But then when we say, hey, okay, that's cool, because Muhammad Ali said in the 60s, he said, hey, man, I think we should have our own state. I don't want to live amongst you motherfuckers. They were like, well, why not? You don't want us around. You're segregating everything. And then as soon as we want to go, white people start panicking. White people panic. But, you know, we don't want to be around you, so you can call us niggas, and we're tired of white cops shooting us. We're tired of this pissing contest that these white cops have because they're afraid of black dicks for some fucking reason, because most of this shit is black dick envy. We're tired of that shit. So what about this? Why don't we just give us what you owe us, and we can go on and do our own shit?
Banned. We better get banned.
Wow.
Kind of vulgar, but he
don't cuss. That's why.
He was kind of vulgar, but he was real about what he was saying, and the truth of the matter is, it was the truth, and you know, it just has to be dealt with one day. You know,
look what Michael Jordan have done to the sneaker world. Just look. Did you know the first pair of Air Jordan? You know what they sell for now? The first pair, if you got one? Anybody have any idea?
No, $5,000?
$64,000 for one pair of shoes. The first ones, and they sold in the store for $49.
Yeah, and it is a wake up call. When I heard that, I said, "Oh Lord, Sandra's gonna love this." He's using all the words that she uses every day.
Oh Lord.
Well, you know, and he's thinking pretty much the way I think every day. So I love him. You know, I mean,
you're telling the truth.
You know, I mean, I detect no lies there. So,
but let me ask this though. This is the issue. So there's a point where you have to look at how do you resolve the issue, and so that means working together as a community. And Sean, I don't know how it is in Houston, but I have lived in different cities, Atlanta being one of them. And while I'm going to overgeneralize right now, I can respect Black communities like Atlanta, where people are about building up, building millionaires, and getting your bread and your paper. Versus, and people in Savannah about to get pissed off, being crabs in a barrel, hating on one another, being mad because you ran against my friend, and all that stupid ass stuff. We got to stop that. We got to, at the end of the day, if Mr. Brown wins, Mr. Brown, we're still in a community, but we got well-educated idiots in this city. I ain't never seen a bunch of professional idiots in my life and I didn't realize it growing up.
Right.
But I just don't understand why we can't, in our smaller communities, or maybe it's just this city. And I love to hear how Houston is, Chandra. But when are we going to understand that when Chandra win, I win? When I eat, my community eats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
That is true.
Robin, and it's
sad. And when a door opens for you, you should not run in and try to slam it real quick,
right?
So that your brother can't come in behind you.
Yeah.
I get
disturbed.
I get dinged all the time because I work in a secure building where tailgating is not permitted. And I don't care if they have a badge or not. They have to
tag in,
click themselves in. But I'm so used to holding the door.
Yeah. That's simple.
For I'm so my mentality is to hold the door for the person behind me. That's just who I am. Right now I have a member of my team. She just got her law degree. I don't want to lose her because she's one of my best, my best employees. But I know the legal staff of our company. So what I did is reached out to the head legal counsel and I said, hey, can you mentor my staff member and consider giving her a position? That's the way things are supposed to go. Mm-hmm. And she's a Black person, so she would never be able to just, at a company like this, just put in her resume and get it on the strength. She has to have somebody to introduce her. And if more Black people in positions would help other Black people, we would be so far ahead.
Well, if I could add this, I want people to go back to the civil rights movement. If the civil rights movement was conducted with the same mentality we live in now, I'm gonna let y'all figure that one out.
You just said a mouthful. That's all. You covered.
Because there was some, and Dr. Trey, please talk on this. There was some idiots, and I'm gonna use the word idiots. And I hope you're mad because you ought to be idiots in Savannah who didn't even want to support Dr. King coming here. Like,
go ahead, Jamal.
You muted.
You muted.
I'm gonna say this right here. I wish actually that we could get a young lady by the name of Kayla Mills. Kayla Mills is from New Orleans. Kayla Mills is a graduate of Savannah State University. Kayla Mills lives in Atlanta. And she had a conversation with me on Monday, and she called it all out. She said, Atlanta is not real. She said, people in Atlanta are impoverished. She said, what we do, we see bougie Black folks in Atlanta looking out for bougie Black folks. And then it caused us to strive for that. So that's why when I heard that, I was like, well, I got to pull over. Kayla Mills then said, that now, based on her experience at Savannah State, being in class with me, she said she's been reading and checking out Dr. John Henry Clark. She began to understand about spirituality, and she began to call. She said it's all an illusion. She said, look at it right. She said Atlanta projects as them being the black Mecca. She said it's not a black Mecca. She said it continues the oppression of the people. She said, but then black folks get caught up. And so what I'm going to say to everybody, wherever you are, you now look to see how we are functioning there, and you address it, because it's the same evil. When I'm going to say this, I tell people, when I had do my tours, guess what people from Atlanta go and say? They said, Jamal, we got the same issues in Atlanta where we got black leadership. Guess what people from Minneapolis going to say? We got the same thing. Then guess what people from Chicago, they going to say we got the same thing. And then guess what then happens, what they going to say? And they say, and we're Democrats. So here go people. So what we do, I say, yes, look at where you at and address that. But do not get into the proximity bias. Proximity bias that we'll look afar at people from afar from us and look at how great they are and not realize that you got the greatness right here. So that's why I'm going to throw it out there to you. That's why when the people on this platform are talking, some of them are talking, you need to listen to some of them, but some of us will not listen to them. Proximity bias. And that's why I had to go and stop and say, hey, Kayla Mills, if I can get her to come on the show, she will lay it out. No, she's not vicious about it. She's matter of fact, because she said, I'm so thankful for the information I got. It helped springboard me with regards to this. So I'm saying Savannah is no different than Atlanta, no different than Dallas, no different from Houston, no different from San Diego. Because when it comes down to it, who's on the bottom in all those places? Black folks. Yes, you see black folks who have wealth, but then also go and look at the marginalized communities right there. Like, let me ask you a question. How many people in Atlanta will go on the bluff? They won't go on the bluff.
Okay, you're right now.
And that's why I just throw it out there and say, that's why, again, platforms like this become so important, because we now can be the ones to really go and articulate and put the truth out there, because people gloss over it so bad, and they mislead the people and misdirect the people. So I just want to throw that out there and say, hey, that's why this becomes absolutely crucial for us to have these platforms. And that's why our black media is not envious of anybody, because we can speak the truth.
You should try to talk to her and get on the show and hook up with a link, because it'll be a pretty, compelling, show. I would like to hear her talk, and we'll give her, time to express and explain things very clearly to our viewing audience. Thank you for sharing that.
Why don't we get with her and she get 2 or 3 of her friends, and we have a whole show on let's ask a young person. That's
a good idea.
Let's ask a young person. We can have a whole bunch of stuff that relates to them, and then we'll talk with them about it and let them do their explaining as to why is this. Giovanna, you one of those panelists also with Kayla. We're going to get to our last segment, and it's called Before We Go. So I'm last. So who want to go first? You got under 2 minutes.
Why Jewish Hall don't like the preachers? They won't go to church.
Hold on.
Okay, that's your two. That's all you want to say.
That's all I want to say.
He yields the rest of his time to the gentleman from Liberty City.
Yes, I do.
But in all seriousness, you all, I'm a person in Teray. We both work in higher education. Be very diligent and prayerful for these students tonight over at University of Southern California. The students are in a standoff with the police, and so this thing is very real. But just be in prayer with these students, the faculty and staff of these campuses across the nation. Tell them it's a serious matter.
It is a serious matter. Because the United States is being two-faced.
Yep.
You cannot support two masters. You can't give one guns and give the other food to get killed.
Right.
I mean, come on now.
Wow.
Mr. Brown.
My statement is short and sweet is please share. That's very important. And the content of this show, we try to do our research to give you the most powerful information. What Sandra just say is pretty powerful because that exactly what's happening. We give one food and the other bullets. And something we have to try to come to understanding, and I don't know how it's going to happen, but you got a point there. That is the most compelling statement I've heard. No news reported it, no one reported it, and that's what the protest is about around the country, if you want to know the main reason. Mm-hmm. I'm saying take care of each other, believe in the Almighty God, in my opinion. And that's all I like to say.
All right. We got what y'all know. I'm going to give these inspirational words every Wednesday before I go. They're not always mine. They're not always mine, but they're always inspirational. I get them every Wednesday, and I'm going to give them to the public. They're judging you because you kept starting over. I'm clapping for you because you never gave up. Be softer. Don't let the world make you hard. Do not let pain make you hate. Do not let the bitterness steal your sweetness. You can't change what has already happened, so don't waste your time thinking about it. Move on. Let go. It's more than okay to outgrow unhealthy connections. Just because you grew up that way doesn't mean you have to stay that way. You got to treat your kids how you wanted to be treated as a kid. Whatever you learned late, teach your kids early. Opportunities don't happen. You create them. You find peace when you realize people are at war with themselves, not with you. A house is not a home without God in it.
Amen.
Amen.
And remember, all night. Come on, Mr. Brown.
Oh, Lord.
All right,
y'all tune in. Y'all tune in to our shows. We got Thursday. We got 2 shows tomorrow. You can see this in rerun, but live shows is what I'll be telling you about. All our shows are rerun all during the week. But you got Taking the Journey Together at 6, and you got at 8 o'clock, the Ebony Sports Reporters. And then on Friday, don't forget, you got Financial Sins, Incarceration to Incorporation, and Score Bigger Dating. .com. And on Saturday, you got Robert right back here with the Watchdogs, and Pastor Smalls with Tell It Like It Is. And what day for political perspective come on?
Sunday at 6. We'll be back. We'll be back live Sunday at 6.
Okay.
I want to come on that show. I want to come on that
we'll
show.
have you Sunday. I'll send it to you for Sunday.
I want to come on that show, and I also want to make a PSA. Beamer Black Empowerment are having a major yard sale on May the 18th at Progressive out on 17. And we asking all the people to come be involved. That's Beamer Black Empowerment. May the 18th, we're having a large outdoor yard sale. So for information to find out how you can be a part of it, contact Daryl Hensley at Brighter Day Bonds Bailman over on Chatham Parkway.
Yeah, we'll have a flyer up on.
Well, I know that, but I just wanted to get that out now, Jim.
And we got to make sure we congratulate a former Savannah City Council candidate, Todd Rose, on his graduation, and he will be installed.
Oh yeah, minister.
Church in Savannah.
Yeah, I want y'all to look up there in that corner when y'all go.
I gotta congratulate Todd.
Yeah, we're gonna have Todd on. But okay, Jamal, you can take us out.
Like that.
like this. I 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 like this. Like this. I like that.